Good afternoon. I wish to thank the Bataan Legacy Heritage Committee for inviting me to participate in this wonderful conference. Most of all, I want to congratulate them for being able to include this historical event in the school curriculum, because I think it's so important for our future generations, the young of today and tomorrow, to know what happened to their parents and their grandparents. And really, this conference is the first step, and I think it's wonderful. And myself, I grew up in the Philippines, and I remember vividly Monday, December 8th, 1941, 6:30 a.m. I still remember that, and I'm 92. Yes, I guess there's certain things you can't forget. I was sitting in front of the mirror, combing my hair, getting ready to go to school, the Central High, then called later Bordner High School, and had the radio on like any teenager, and heard the announcer excitedly announce, Pearl Harbor has been bombed by the Japanese, we are at war. Well, I didn't know what that meant. I mean, we're at war with the Japanese. What does that mean here in the Philippines? So I ran to my father, Massey Teague of Navasota, Texas. He came to the Philippines with the Army of Occupation after the Spanish-American War. And he and many friends liked it so much, they saw the potential, the growth in the Philippines and stayed, became very good business people. My father founded the Magnolia Ice Cream, by the way. He founded this because his companions in the army, William and Henry Schober, founded the Legazpi Garden. That was that restaurant for the army, and they needed ice cream, so my father did. And he married Mercedes Neliton of Bicol, my mom. And she's better known in the Philippines for being the founder of the Realistic Beauty Salon and the Realistic Institute. That institute has graduated thousands of people, and we have lifted the provincial class and made a strong middle class just from that one school. And so there I was. I said, can I go to school and find out what's happening? He said, yes. My teacher was all Americans. They were, the school was founded military purposes, only for the children of the military, but they were obliged to include locals by the government. It's included myself, a lot of Phil-Ams. And they were all crying because their husbands were in the Army and the Navy, and they knew. Some of them never saw them again because they were in the submarines and never came back. And all they could do was give us a slip of paper and say, this is just to certify you're in this school, and that's all we can give you. So I went home, and of course, the first thing, my father, with his wonderful foresight, built an air raid shelter and a deep well right there in our front yard. We were living in Malate, Mabini, between Iran and Tennessee, a few blocks from the Malate Catholic Church. And that was his first job, to build that air raid shelter for me and our family. We had a household of employees who lived with us, Bicolana ladies who were the beauticians, and of course the house help. And it was about an 8 by 10 air raid shelter and a deep well for water. Then the Japanese took the older Americans to a makeshift internment at Malate Catholic School, that corner. Yes, it wasn't bad. It was more like a hospital with nurses, and we were allowed to visit my father in the beginning. And of course, the Japanese were trying to win us over with that wonderful slogan, you remember? The co-prosperity sphere, Asia for the Asians. Well, it didn't work, of course, but they tried. And